Okay, let's get started now. Give me one more second here. Okay, there we go. Now, let's see. Let's see, is there anything that's like free? Let me see, what do they got? Downloading and playing with creations are subject to our Frozen Fleet skins for UC. And maybe these are all free. I guess I got these already. So there's all the plushies. Cheat room. Yeah. And I think I'm good for now. I think I just... Okay. Okay, let's see, load. Satonia Central Hub. And that's where we were at last time. So I gotta do that. Make sure we gotta take that thing to that woman, I guess, now. Since I didn't get to finish it last time. Okay, delivering devils. So let's see, where are we going now? Find Percival. Main level. Let's see, what are we doing now? I guess we're going out.
Used to think I was Vanguard
Here.
material.
And looks like I'm going outside. So
Sorry.
no, put the helmet on. Okay, make sure I got the helmet on. Oh, she's right there. I didn't even see her already. Okay. So where are we going exactly? The star map. Okay, so that's where we're going, over here.
don't know. A few trees here and some grass there, and this place might not look so awful.
Wait, what? Okay, I'm confused right now. Let me see. Where am I at? I don't think I'm in the right place. I think I went to the wrong area, actually. Let me see. I think I'm in the wrong area. I think I'm supposed to go somewhere else. I hate myself sometimes when this... Let's see. Inventories. Let's look at the map again. Guess maybe I'll go through this way. That noise? Heard something. Whoa. Wasn't expecting to jump that high.
This must lead to the miners' living quarters. I can't imagine having to live almost every waking moment underground.
Am I supposed to be even? I don't know if I am or not. It's like I'm confused by this whole thing, really. I don't think I'm supposed to be here. I think I'm in the wrong spot. I think the game might have screwed me up.
Look at all this old drilling equipment left here to rust. Not surprising, though. mining lasers render to these machines completely obsolete. Well, we clearly can't get through this way. Perhaps we should try making our way down using the caves in the back of the area.
Yeah, that's what I was planning on. Looks like there's no way over that way.
There's still quite a bit of mineral wealth down here. Perhaps it would be worth our time to survey the area for more.
Okay, there we go. That's us. Nah, not right now. I'm carrying too much stuff. Maybe another time. Carrying too much weight right now, so it might not be a good idea. Wait a minute, however, let me see what's all down here. Just want to check to see what's in this area. Oh, I've been through here before. Yeah, this is where we were at when we did all the other stuff. Okay. I'm going the right way, at least.
How an engineer could make heads or tails of this chaotic collection of drilling machinery.
Wanted to make sure I wasn't even stuck there. Yeah, this stuff I don't remember. So, oh shit.
Well, this explains why the miners ceased drilling. Someone must have missed this natural cavern on the geological survey. Shame.
Okay.
Constructing that massive structure in this cavern must have been quite a feat. I suppose it was a bit like building a ship in a bottle.
Let me see what does it look like from here. Let's keep going back over here. Follow this. This will lead me over there somewhere. Oh, starts me shift. I'm guessing that's what that is. Or an earthquake. What's down here? Oh. Now the trail's gone cold. What? That's weird.
Can't say I don't appreciate it, but I doubt you came all this way just to do me a favor. Now you want to explain to me why you're going around harassing nefarious old men by wiping away their hard-earned debts? Adrian sent you. Did she look okay? Sounds like Adrian. Watch that woman lose a digit trying to get a better tissue sample.
What? You can reattach a finger, Percy.
So what exactly did she have you bring me?
Terramore cells from a world too young to have one.
Adrian said that, huh? If she made you come all the way for this... Let's get inside. I need to see these cells.
Turn these lights off for now. Red Devil's HQ.
Gonna ask you to not touch anything. Got some projects in the works down here. I wasn't expecting guests.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And Lou mentioned how you took care of the dead. Can't say I'm thrilled the Trade Authority got their mitts on the research, but I guess that's the price you pay not to live in a cave the rest of your days. All queued up. Let's gaze into this abyss, shall we? All right, just get those cellular markers tagged. Wait, where are the markers? This can't be right. This sample, it's Londinian. I'll need to get this all on a slate. Adrian really gave you this sample. You're not lying to me? Because if you told me this was a hoax, and it'd be the best damn fake I've ever seen, I'd be mad and very, very relieved. Can't just humor an old man, huh? This sample, it's got all the indicators of the worst terramorph attack in human history. I presume you've heard of Londinium. And for good reason. The swarms are so bad, they had to blow the spaceport and seal the place off from the galaxy at large. Not a lot of samples made it off the world from the time of the attack. But the ones that did, well, they look just like this one. I didn't detect any of the telltale signatures this specimen ever sat on a ship while it was alive, either. I don't think it was transported to Tau Ceti. This specimen, it grew there, faster than any terramorph should. Which means, if we're about to start a new era in human-terramorph relations, where big, sudden Londinian-style attacks can happen outside Londinium, it's not gonna end well for humanity.
It would be the end of us as a species.
So, you lugged this bad omen all the way here. You want to tell me what your plans are for it now? Because until now, the terramorphs that wiped out Londinium had the good sense to stay put. What happened there? It was a tragedy, but at least it was contained. So to find evidence for a similar attack on a different world, well, we don't have enough information to know precisely what this means. But I doubt it's good. So I'd love to know what it is you're planning from here. The circle, huh? Could use a drink about now. Here, faster we take the lift to the surface. Not supposed to use it, but given the circumstances, I'm inclined to just ask forgiveness. Let's get going.
Okay. Alright, so where are we going now? Come on, jump. I don't know why I couldn't jump there. I was stuck for some reason. I ain't risking it. What's the thing about taking that jump? Man, that's a pretty high jump. Pretty far jump. Gonna risk jumping that far. Whoa. That's pretty fast for me to run like that. And they're way back there still. I'm not even running that fast. Just trying to take my time, I go too quickly. Yeah, they'll be with me here once I do this part.
Will you take a look around?
Hopefully. Okay. Forget. Lately, I've also been playing some Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so I'm kind of used to like that button to being like I'm used to that button being the what you call it, the map button. Wish they had another button for the map. Turn that off. Don't need that on no more. Oh. Alright, let's see here. inventory. Right, there's what I want to do. I'm gonna get rid of some of these. Like, and just get rid of the. I'm keeping that though. Might sell that though. I don't know yet.
Keep a lookout. Notify us if you see anything suspicious.
I'm gonna go to this guy because that
How's
one's.
it going? Can I help you? Take your time.
Yeah, I want to see
And
what.
ask me if... Cool. That's what we do here.
Just want to see what can I sell you. Let's see. Actually, I want to keep that. No, I'm not selling that at all. Yeah, sell that, of course. Wait, where's my other badge at? 'Cause I thought, didn't I have two of these badges?
See you around.
That's just not the way to handle a situation like that. You need to read the room.
Or at the very least, stay silent.
Balloons on scattered farms
Sadly,
around the debris are
that
collected.
isn't dotted. these
There
days.
are unconfirmed reports of farmers being targeted by an unknown group or gang whose motives are unclear. Although we have not been able to...
Is that really her? Adrian.
Percival. My God, look at you. You're an old man now.
You're no hassling yourself anymore, Major. Our friend here showed me your sample. Suffice it to say,
Not here. Let's talk somewhere more private. Lou said we could use the back.
I guess I gotta talk to her.
Lou gave me the abridged version of what went down. Yeah, I can't thank you enough for taking care of all that.
makes two of us.
I hope it ultimately didn't end up being too much trouble. That's certainly not what I was expecting you'd have to go through. But thank you. I'm just glad you both came through intact. So, were you two able to get that workup together?
Got it right here. That sample? It's an exact match for the ones from Londinium.
Londinium. That's exactly what I was afraid of.
Not thrilled to be the bearer of that kind of news. That's for damn sure. So tell me you've got some kind of plan for that workup.
Well, right now, we've got more questions than answers. So I've been trying to figure out what it's gonna take to access our old Terramorph data.
Good place to start. What'd you find?
It's in the archives.
The Armistice Archives? Doesn't that mean we'd be dealing with the Cabinet? And the Freestar Collective? And House Varun somehow? Guess we can kiss that approach goodbye.
I didn't think the Cabinet would be willing to hear us out either. But I called in some favors. They've agreed to hear us out on two conditions. One, they want to see this analysis you two have procured. And two, they want to discuss what happened on Tau Ceti. With both of us. The Cabinet's the UC's highest governing body. The President, top military brass, scientific and diplomatic division heads. Any major decision the UC makes goes through them. They're the only real chance we've got of unlocking the archives. So without their blessing, we're flying blind. Well, when the Colony War came to a close 19 years ago, with the signing of the armistice, 3 factions were involved in the negotiations. The UC, Freestar, and House Varun. They made a lot of decisions about what sort of tactics should and shouldn't be permitted in future conflicts. All information related to the things they decided should be banned was locked away in the archives. Now, it's possible to get things out of there, but only with the agreement of members from all 3 factions. And as to what our research is doing in there, well, I'll get to that. It can be a daunting experience, which is why I wanted to make sure, before you agreed to anything, we gave you the whole truth. Percival and I, we're not just researchers. We were military scientists, ran a division of the UC together that deployed aliens on the battlefield as weapons.
Place I was hiding out. That was our unit's home base.
After some early fits and starts at other facilities, the place eventually became the heart of UC xeno warfare. a practice that's been banned ever since the armistice went into effect almost 20 years ago. And the UC military cut us loose for what we'd done. No. We were both dismissed after the war for what we did. These days, we're just concerned citizens with a very particular area of expertise. Our damage has been done for a long time. Well, it was during that assignment that the UC asked us to explore deploying terramorphs on the battlefield. The project never got off the ground, but the data our team gathered is now sitting in the archives, along with all the other information banned after the Colony War. Under the watchful eye of monitors from all the galactic factions still participating in regular politics. But if we can convince the cabinet to help us access that data, it'll give us the tools we need to decipher what exactly this sample might mean. And hopefully, how to prevent more attacks like the one that spawned it. I mean, I hope they will, given the evidence we've acquired. But getting the Freestar Collective and House Varun on our side, that won't be easy.
Since neither group is exactly on great terms with the UC at the moment, for various reasons.
Exactly. It's going to mean negotiations and deals and plenty of diplomatic legwork to see this through. But I don't see a better option to solving what's going on here. So it's going to be up to us to get them on board. Because the Terramorph project was doomed from the start. Terramorphs are too mean, too smart, too hungry to be used in combat. Trust us, we tried. The data that's in the archives, it's historical write-ups, anatomical notation, food chain analyses. I doubt they would have even classified it if it didn't have a xeno-warfare logo. You have my word. It's not a threat.
Okay. Okay, let's go talk to this cabinet.
All right. I'm gonna go get this work up into the cabinet's hands. I'll meet you out front of Mast in New Atlantis.
Good luck. You two are gonna need it.
I'm here for you.
Only employees of find resources in and around Sidonia.
Was that Percival walking through there with you? Oh, glad to see he's still kicking.
Almost break time. Come on, you can make it.
Level
Flying out into this corporate giant stands to loom ever larger in the market.
The miners pretty much run the lower levels here.
A reminder that particle detonations can occur beyond the city limits between the hours of 0600 and 1800 local time.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the
So,
cockpit.
where to next?
We are heading up to
Orbit achieved. Wow, look at that. A whole new set of
This is
stars.
United Colonies Space. Maintain current course while we scan for contraband. And complete. Enjoy your stay in New Atlantis.
and we'll go here first. I want to see if I can sell any more. Or if I had anything else I wanted to sell right now. I don't remember now.
If you don't see what you want, feel free to ask. If it belongs on your ship, then I'm sure we have... Oh, please, take a look.
I just want to see what you have here. I already have one of those. I'll take it. Yeah, I want to keep those. Oh, did you? Yep. I don't know why it always likes to kick me out of my party. I don't know why they can't tell me. I mean, like it just disconnects me randomly without even telling me. Let's see what else is there. Yeah, some of these I'm gonna like. I gotta select it somewhere, but it's a legendary. There's that one. There it is right there. Kill Hauler.
Thanks for shopping at Jemison Mercantile.
Selling art is a bit of an art itself, you know.
I think I could live on coffee if I had to.
I'm gonna go to. Yeah, I'm gonna go to that one. I'm gonna go off to the lodge for a second before I decide to do anything else.
Well, hello, sunshine. What's happening, darling? I wouldn't trade my life with you for anything else in the universe. If it keeps us close, then I'll gladly say those words every time you ask. Any troubles you need to share? Don't stay away too long.
I'm so excited to see Tony after work.
I should have brought me those 2 suits while I was at it. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Just want to at least keep some of that stuff over here where I got
Here,
a place to.
perhaps we should check in with Mateo or Noel.
Let's see here. Oh, that's in the storage, is what that is. Let's see, what do we got in here? Keep that Equinox. I think that's only semi, right? Oh, that's fully okay, cool. I want to keep that then. Oh, that's epic. Yep. I shall keep that. Where's the other one go? Actually, I want to see how that. Where'd that go? And it's gonna stay in here. And I'll put this one in there for now. And I'm gonna put that in there. Alright, I'll be back in a second to go to the bathroom. Alright, now where was I? Let's see here. Come on, get out of the way. I'm trying to transfer some stuff here still. I want to see what this does compared to that one that I got. Where's it at? It does 67 damage, and how much damage does that one do? Where is it? Right there. And it does about the same amount. Is it auto, or is it just like burst? Doesn't say. Fully automatic. I don't know if I want that or not. Maybe I should take that. Where did I go? What does I believe I just added that thing there to the front of it. I believe that one was a gift from somebody, I forgot who now. Of course, I got that one from... I got that one from the Free Star Collective. I forgot about where I got that one from. Of course, there's this one right here. No, I want to go this way.
Captain! Over here.
Okay. Let's talk
The
to you.
workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen,
Okay.
I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Vae Victus. Woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin. A title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
Okay.
A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels, but there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked. I'm the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young. Training accidents and the like. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines during the Colony War, and they never came back. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world would look like with them still in it. He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death on both sides. Freestar Collective and UC. Military and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned. He had his men open fire on civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne. A battle that he ultimately ended up losing anyway, devastating the UC fleet and bringing the Colony War to an ugly end for the UC. But he's also the one who ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport during their outbreak, condemning countless lives. Both sides agreed the settled systems would be better without him. I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here.
So honestly, what are the risks of us accessing
Eye
this
strain
data?
from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed. The Terramorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous, which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise.
Don't have any questions. Let's see. Suggestions on what I should say to the cabinet.
Well, thinking about it more, I suspect there'd be value in sharing the fact that the Terramorph project was, well, a failure. There's no need to be afraid of this data being weaponized. Knowing that should calm some of the cabinet's fears and make it easier for us to dispel any suspicions the other factions might have about our intentions.
Okay. Are you still willing to tell me any more about your father?
I mean, we never spent a lot of time together. He was too busy being Fleet Admiral to deal with kids. I was raised by a pair of guardians instead. Until his defeat during the Colony War, though, he was known as an extremely effective commander. Savvy. Perceptive. That mind opened a lot of doors for him. And for me, too. But Victus, for all his ability, was heartless. Ruthless to a fault. In the end, that's what cost him his life.
Your eyes, they're red, and is that a result of the cloning process?
That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift. Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue. Here we go.
Yeah, I'll just do it real quick. Sit there, wait for her to come. Since I'm like drawing this out any longer.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope will determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terramorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
Remind me of what's kept
All
in these
knowledge related
archives.
to the technologies banned by the UC and the Freestar Collective after the Colony War resides in the archives, including the aforementioned terramorph data you and Hadrian are after. I want to know what you, someone with less direct involvement in the armistice, sees as the purpose behind granting said access.
We're still trying to figure out what we're facing. We can't make an informed decision without data.
That is something to consider. Though we also have to take into account the nature of the data you require.
Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, terramorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask, how many deaths the cabinet requires to act? 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this terramorph seem at all alarming to you? It's a little intimidating. I understand.
Just taking her word for it as well, then.
So it would seem. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives? Captain?
I'm uncomfortable opening the archives without gathering more information. However, if that's the path forward you prefer, then so be it.
I'm inclined to agree.
As am I.
Well, I am not. I've heard nothing here to convince me that we should do anything but wait. And I will not risk galactic peace on a question of if.
Yes, a fair assessment, Chief Diplomat. So then, while the data you two have presented is compelling, I think we can safely say it's insufficient for the level of action you've requested. Perhaps once we... What was that?
Attention.
Uh-oh.
An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs?
More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
Damn it. They're here. Now.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
Come on, let's rip.
You! The EM rifle, grab it! Now!
Stop! We're trying to help you!
Please! I can't stop!
That's it. Now hit him with everything you've got.
Where's that Equinox at? Right there.
It's in my head!
You're done!
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting. I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready. I'm not suggesting. It's documented behavior. The result of the projection, though, can vary wildly. Some folks just shrug it off. Others hallucinate. And some lose control altogether. They'll lash out at anyone around them, but still be aware while they're doing it. Those cases, you'll either need to knock them out with EM fire, or free them by killing the Terramorph.
Okay.
I honestly was just wondering the same thing. But no, you don't need to worry about me. I've had a Terramorph try it on me before. I'm not susceptible. So we'll just have to make sure to watch out for each other down there.
Alright.
Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move!
An evacuation order has been issued for the spaceport district. It's not real. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
You might back up. Don't just stand there. Good.
X-Bots? We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad, but we're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before, huh? Well, I've got one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
You might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here, but we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us. Roger that. We're on you. Eyes open.
Closer. Closer. Closer now.
Oh God! Here they come!
Another loser. Another knock of my gun.
Let's see, what do we got in here that I can use? So where's that? I want to see how this works.
I don't even need a gun.
How the UC's fighting, get it done?
It is ringing bad. Bring it on.
Secure.
Nah, where should we go?
Nice work, Captain.
It's over. Thank God. If these things Areas of the city, we would have had an absolute massacre on our hands.
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. The universe put the right people in the right place. Certainly doesn't feel like it.
I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
I have a feeling this has just begun, though.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your homes. That is all.
Come on, let's hurry up and go.
How the hell do Terramorphs get into the city like that undetected?
That's a relief to hear. Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, there you are. I believe we have some things we should discuss.
Losing anyone in the line of duty is a tragedy. These attacks, they can't happen again.
The loss of life, the damage to the spaceport, the costs of this attack are greater than I think we realize.
Captain? Hadrian? It would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, after today's events, the Cabinet has decided to revisit its previous decision. We will be supporting your collection of the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed, first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative. We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us? It has its perks. Only citizens can purchase property in the city. We also pay reduced prices on most goods and services across the UC. There's also a credit disbursement when you first join. Help get you on your feet. But above all, you'd become a dedicated part of the greatest faction in the galaxy. If you're willing to help us, we can open that door. I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. We're dismissed.
Next time Terramorphs rear their ugly heads, the UC is going to be ready.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer
things we do
Kulkarni.
here, the tech we
Start
develop,
getting a plan together
benefits
for that
all of
thing.
humanity.
Yeah, sure was a lot of talk going on there. I'm guessing we're going that way, yeah.
Yes. Yes, sir. Consider it done. That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also told the President wants us to get you into the Armistice archives ASAP. So, we've got no time to waste. You know what the archives are, correct? It was a mutual agreement, but I suppose you touch on the spirit of it. So, you also know then that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varun to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done. No.
Each is a strip of several million random numbers generated on the fly based on biometric keys kept by each of the ambassadors on their person at all times. They're impossible to create without those keys, and those keys stay with the ambassadors, meaning we're accessing nothing if we can't get them on our side.
I couldn't agree more. However, both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varun?
Tell me about Ambassador Balmore of House
Ambassador
Varun.
Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
Well, these days, they're primarily considered a security threat. House Varun Zealots, a fundamentalist outshoot of the group that stayed behind when the rest retreated into seclusion, want nothing more than to send everyone not dedicated to their cause to the great serpent in the sky. But that hasn't always been the case. After they ended the Serpent's Crusade about 70 years back, House Varun did take a real run at trying to normalize relations with the rest of the galaxy. It's why they have an embassy here in the first place, why they were included in the armistice negotiations. But then, without warning, they left, leaving behind, to our knowledge, just the ambassador and his duty under the armistice.
It does, but there's a concern. We're not 100% sure Balmore is actually still alive. His public appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice.
What kind of life science did you take in the embassy?
The Varun delegation brought more than a few of their native flora with them when they set up in the embassy. It seems those plants have been allowed to flourish, making it hard for us to verify what's flora and what's ambassador.
Wait, has no one actually been inside the embassy?
The embassy is still legally House Varun's sovereign territory, so we're not technically permitted inside. We've snuck in the occasional spy, of course, but the ambassador has proven more evasive than you'd expect for a man of his age. But we're quite sure he hasn't left the city. The man stands out.
What do I do if he's
then
dead?
You search the embassy for his biometric key, collect your code.
Aw, man. Why do you do that, Xbox?
Simple go about notifying his next of kin,
So
if we can ever find them. But let's hope it doesn't come to that.
I'll track him
I
down.
have no doubt. Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, We received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Got it. Tell me about Ambassador Radcliffe, the Three-Star Collective.
The good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable.
If Sam is any example of how stubborn the Freestar people can be, then I can imagine how difficult it must be dealing with this ambassador.
Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her. Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support. And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
Alright, tell me about these tools. Alright, tell me about these other tools then.
Certainly. See, good diplomacy is all about the careful application of pressure. We just need to find the squeeze. UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage. But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell. So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen. Report suggests there's a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for intel. Maybe even convince to work with you.
Any other things I should avoid doing inside the embassy?
Many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. Absolutely do not harm anyone. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises.
What can you tell me about this staff
Name's
member?
Cameron Long. He's younger than Radcliffe, bears less of a grudge towards the UC. He works closely with the ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life, and someone who very likely hates her guts.
That's all the info I need for the moment on Empress. That's all the info I need. That's all the info I need for the moment on Ambassador Radcliffe.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise. Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
Alright.
I asked my boss what they're doing to stop new alien attacks on the city. He said top minds were on it. Sure hope they know what they're doing.
Hard to believe it's been 2 decades since we were at war with the Collective, when it seems like only yesterday.
You'll find the ambassador in our office. Go on through.
Visitors are only allowed in the lobby, offices, or...
I'm going to be upfront with you. I'm not happy visiting anything related to the Freestar Collective. But you lead, and I'll follow.
Terramorphs? As in more than one? All that security, and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here?
Sounds like it was a real mess down at the spaceport.
I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment?
I mean, on behalf of the United Colonies, we need the Freestar Collective's help.
Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants Terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right. Excuse me. A less level-headed person might think that was a threat, Captain.
The only threats you're facing are the 8-legged variety just outside your door. Now can we please stop playing games here? Lives hang in the balance.
A lecture in morality from the UC. How quaint and short-sighted. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and yours, and go? No, Captain, I'm not, and I'll tell you why. What you experienced down there at the spaceport, I've lived that once before already. Fought tooth and nail as aliens rampaged in the streets of my home and others all throughout the collective. But my aliens were placed there by UC hands. So I'm not interested in anyone getting power like that ever again. The UC most of all. You have my answer. Now, please take the hint. You're really gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance. One to convince me. Understood. I'm listening. It's a job I take very seriously. It's why I'm even entertaining what you're suggesting right now. I suppose you might be right. Easy to lose sight of the big picture sometimes. Oh, please. Buttering me up isn't gonna get us anywhere.
Damn it. Yeah, I was hoping to get her. Let's try it again. If I can get her, I'll probably quit here. Maybe, I don't know yet.
Visitors are only allowed in the lobby, offices, or conference room.
I'm going to be upfront with you. I'm not happy visiting anything related to the Freestar Collective. But you lead, and I'll follow.
Sounds like it was a real mess down at the spaceport.
Never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here?
Save here, just... Nah.
You're allowed 3 places. Conference room, lobby, or the ambassador's office. You set foot anywhere else, there's going to be problems.
I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment? Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right. Excuse me. A less level-headed person might think that was a threat, Captain.
The only threats you're facing are the 8-legged variety just outside your door. Now can we please stop playing games here? Lives hang in the balance.
A lecture in morality from the UC. How quaint and short-sighted. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and yours, and go? No, Captain, I'm not, and I'll tell you why. What you experienced down there at the spaceport, I've lived that once before already. Fought tooth and nail as aliens rampaged in the streets of my home and others all throughout the collective. But my aliens were placed there by UC hands. So I'm not interested in anyone getting power like that ever again. The UC most of all. You have my answer. Now, please take the hint. You're really gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance. One to convince me. Understood. I'm listening. The cost of being wrong is a high one. You're not gonna flatter me into acting against the Freestar Collective's best interest. Less than a generation. Hardly long enough to claim the UC is completely reformed.
Damn it.
Captain, I'm sorry, but my answer is not changing. The UC is just gonna have to find another way. Now, I presume you can see yourself out.
Damn it. I'm trying to do this again one more time. Get around, I'm trying to figure this out. It's like, man, I wanna. Like, come on, man. I'll tell you, trying to persuade these people is like. Let me see. No, wait. Let me see something. Actually, I think I already got this, don't I? Yeah.
Visitors are only allowed in the lobby, offices, or conference room.
I'm going to be upfront with you. I'm not happy visiting anything related to the Freestar Collective, but you lead, and I'll follow.
Terramorphs? As in more than one? All that security and they still can't protect their own spaceport. The UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
I'm gonna stay right here so that I don't keep going back and forth between that.
I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to be in here?
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Everyone's a little
Do you have an appointment?
the attack.
Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants Terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right. I was afraid of that. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and yours, and go? You're really gonna push this? All right, I will give you one chance. One to convince me. Understood.
Got it.
I'm listening. And those lives are in my hands. I'm sorry, but acting just because you're afraid doesn't justify the action. Preventing more deaths is precisely what I'm...
Damn it. Come on, man. You're not making this any easier on me. Jeez.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Sorry. Everyone's a
excuse
little
me.
on edge after the
Are
attack.
you supposed to be in here? I'm sorry.
No.
Do you have an appointment?
I'm here on orders, though.
Ah, you're the one, McIntyre. You have my thing. Now, now the use... I can only presume. I was afraid of that. Let me be frank. I will not be the one... You're really gonna push... I'm listening. Oh, please. Buttering me up isn't gonna get us anywhere. Oh, yes. This banned research is precisely what the factions need to kickstart their relationship. Let's breed a bioweapon together. The cost of being wrong is a high one. Well, Captain, you make some good points. But if I'm really granting you access, I'm gonna need the following concessions. Your access will be limited. You can only take out the items related to stopping these terramorphs. The monitors will make sure of it. You go in once, you get everything you need on your trip, and never again. And all research done with the data will be monitored. If this data is being used to save the galaxy needs to be involved in the oversight. Freestar scientists will watch your people like hawks. So, do we have an agreement? Excellent. Follow me.
Come on, get up.
Official business?
It's about time I got up.
They tell me it should only take a moment. reach out to Deputy McIntyre. We'll coordinate the necessary oversights. Two unlikely allies, I guess.
You can go on through.
The Free Star Collective, a collective of snakes. Down with the FC! What's my problem with them? Really? I'm keeping the FC accountable for the terrible things they've done. The Colony War was an unforgivable tragedy. Countless lives could have been spared, but the Free Star Collective was out for blood. The Free Star Collective took my father away from me. Finally, someone that understands. It feels good to know that someone understands what I'm feeling. The FC won't get away with what they did. I'll be out here every day spreading the truth if I have to. If not for me, for everyone in the UC that wants justice. Well, I want it torn down, of course. The fact that there's even an embassy for them here after what they did, it's infuriating. Tear it down. Tear it all down. Ha! Diplomacy? That doesn't mean anything to the FC. They'll break any law and treaty that they feel like. It doesn't matter to them. Take care.
I keep coming back. I really like the banquet. Maybe if I try easy sleep tea.
Oh, I think I know where I'm going. I gotta go down, don't I? What the hell happened here?
isn't what I expected at all. It appears the flora they were using as decor has overgrown the entire embassy. Like this before in my entire life. It would actually be more fascinating if the branches weren't blocking our way. Huh? Was that you? Don't leave any of that behind.
I'm not a big fan of whatever these noises are. There we go.
punishment becomes providence. A reminder we can never truly know the Great Serpent's designs for us. You have my thanks, and my apologies for the ordeal you just endured. Come, let us discuss. Not the ideal introduction, I suppose, giving you a grand tour of the embassy via barely functioning intercoms. I do greatly appreciate your persistence. I suspect the Venom tree upstairs has worked itself into more systems than I'd realized. But then again, who could cage such a beauty? Tell me though, what is it like outside? I heard the broadcast mentioning an attack. Then the embassy was struck with a power surge and then... silence. Has the rest of the city suffered quite so badly? Harmless spores, you have my word, but hard to navigate. Hence why I was guiding you through the intercoms to restore the environmental controls. And release me. It is the sap of the tree that gives it its... well, perhaps not a topic for this exact moment. But I must know of the rest of the city. Does it still stand? Is that right? I shall need to have these repairs seen to sooner rather than later. Now, it cannot solely be the Serpent's grace that brought you here at such an opportune moment. You were sent by the UC. That much is obvious. Who else could just waltz through my door? And the broadcast spoke of terror morphs at the spaceport. A worrying occurrence, certainly, but coming here of all places, when all I could provide is some enthused cheerleading and... an archive code. So the UC requires information, then. On terror morphs, presumably. Do I see this all clearly? Preservation of life stands as the very purpose of the archives. Using its data to prevent more attacks, there is logic there. But if I am to grant you access, I have a requirement. For years, House Varun has been known only as an agent of slaughter. We founded this embassy with hopes of shedding that legacy, with little success. In exchange for my code, I require this. You must be the one who ensures it is used for good. Ensure House Varun's legacy is more than just carnage. The knowledge you ask for isn't evil. No knowledge is. It is we who bend it to evil ends. Now, you must assure me this will be used to save lives, not endanger them.
As the chair of Constellation, I take personal responsibility in vouching for this man's integrity. He'll keep his word.
Well then, I shall not fear. Please, follow me.
No, I think you see where he has the code. Maybe not. Maybe I'm in the wrong place. Nope.
Let's hope it still works. And there. Let it be used for good.
Hopefully there won't be no more attacks. Okay, make sure I'm going the right way. I didn't get mixed up going where I need to go. Man, this place is a mess. Okay, there we go. House for room, first floor lobby. At this point I'm quitting, probably.
Steph was telling me all about it. Pretty amazing stuff.
I know exactly where I'm going.
Okay. Hello.
You're back sooner than... Oh, wait. Did you actually succeed? With Radcliffe? And Balmore? We're all in agreement. So the old man was still lurking around in there. Fine work, Captain. And now, I've already arranged everything with the archival monitors. When you get down there, the UC monitor will give you instructions on how to deploy the codes. Follow them to the letter. Here, the UC code piece and an archival access card. The entrance is just on the other side of the plaza across from Mast. Absolute best behavior down there, all right?
Got it. So I guess that means we are... Come on, move. I'm just gonna get out of this building for now. Let's save it. Maybe at least find that building and we can quit.
Ah, Captain. Congratulations on joining the ranks of the Vanguard.
Unless that archive's full of ordnance, it's not enough.
I see. Well, thank you for taking the time.
I'm just gonna look for that building and I'm gonna save. Cause like I don't want to just walk right in and just end up in a conversation randomly. Maybe I'll just sit right here and see. Oh, never mind, it's an elevator. Cool. I'll save here and then. I'll save here and call it a night. Okay. Later, folks. Catch y'all some other time.